Hey, this is Brian G, the EVOG, and you're joining me here in the cockpit of Mystique, our 2023 Fisker Ocean One. It's been another turbulent week in the Fisker Ocean, and I thought I'd take a few minutes here at sunset, as I typically do, to reflect on a few things. Earlier this week, I shared the 5 stages of grief that I saw myself and a lot of other Fisker owners going through. I shared that on the EVOG podcast with my friend Adam. And I also shared it on the Out of Spec podcast with Francie. I'll leave links to both of those in the description. But we also saw some signs of life, or perhaps there were signs of desperation, with a couple of new 8Ks being filed by the Fisker executive team, announcing a change in board membership, as well as announcing that they've signed on Deutsche Bank and an organization called PJT Partners to help them with their restructuring plans. We also saw an email to Fisker Ocean owners that gave us some additional information about software updates as well as support for our vehicles. That email indicated that all Fisker Ocean owners should have version 2.0 by the end of the month of April. So, as I said, a few signs of life there. This week, I also completed the installation over the air of version 2.0 in our Fisker Ocean One here. So it's good to see that our vehicle is getting better with software as promised. And we also had this week MKBHD's Fisker Ocean 2.0 review using a Fisker Ocean running version 2.0 software that he got from, of all places, Fisker themselves. So all of that just got me to thinking about, why did KBHD do his 2.0 review? It also got me reflecting on the question he asked in his subtitle, which I'll come back to. And I'm also thinking about more bad decisions by Fisker. So let's get into this. All right, so my initial thought with this was to do another rebuttal video where I went through all the things that needed to be pointed out, perhaps corrected, or give my experience with it as an owner of the vehicle, as I did in my last rebuttal. But I understand what's happening here, so I'm taking a different route with this, so bear with me here. Marquez, or MKBHD, used a great double entendre that I found entertaining, right, in calling the video Fisker Ocean 2.0 review. Very much like the autofocus name for his channel, which is another double entendre. He's obviously one of the biggest influencers, as well as one of the best tech reviewers in the world, right, with almost 20 million subscribers to the MKBHD channel. Marquez is obviously not just a businessman, he is, like the rap lyric says, a businessman. So since launching his autofocus channel, he's up to almost 1 million subscribers and has done almost 50 or so auto reviews. We're talking everything from Cybertruck to Hummer EV, all of the Rivians, including the R2 and R3 that were just launched. He did the Lucid Gravity. He also did Rolls Royce, as well as the Rimac Nevera. So he's done tons of great vehicles. And you would think one of those videos would have been his top viewed video, but no. What's his top video? It's the one he did last month on the Fisker Ocean One. For context, autofocus reviews seems like they typically get about 1 million views per review. The Cybertruck is the next closest one at 4 million. So at 5 million, the Fisker Ocean is absolutely good for business. So in thinking about this, in my last rebuttal video, I mentioned that we consume this content looking for affirmation versus information. And it's clear to me that Marquez and team are absolutely leaning into that and taking advantage of the polarization right now around this vehicle, around Fisker as a company, and driving it to increase viewership of autofocus reviews on the ocean, which is ultimately good for their business. I liken it to watching a train wreck, right? Where many of us are on the train and upset that he isn't affirming our decision to buy or invest, right? And then you've got many on the other side who look at Fisker as a train wreck in process and are, looking to have that affirmed and to ultimately see the crash, right? And we've seen that to some extent with the stock already being delisted and the company obviously hanging on by a thread. There's also a third group of us that look at the autofocus review and are entertained by it. That's kind of where I am. I found myself laughing a couple of times, and maybe I was laughing to keep from crying. Part of the reason I'm not going down the path of rebutting specific points from that video is it's clear to me that Marquez and team are way too smart to get as many things wrong, omitted, um, and exaggerated unless they were doing this for business reasons to get views. But the MKBHD Fisker Ocean 2.0 review is, in my opinion, another self-inflicted wound by Fisker themselves, who reached out to MKBHD and team to ask for this. The analogy I use with it is that of a blind date where last month MKBHD was fixed up on a blind date, a very public blind date with a beautiful ocean. He liked its fundamentals, but was so annoyed and puzzled by its flaws, and obviously told this to the world. And in doing so, he actually saw some business benefit, as I said earlier, with north of 5 million views. Then a month later, Fisker reaches out, says, our ocean's gotten so much better, we'd like for you to go ahead and do another blind date with it. And you could tell he really did not want to do this again, but he understood that this would drive views. It would be ultimately good for business. So that's what we're dealing with here. And I see it as another bad decision by Fisker. Marquez affirmed that this is still the worst vehicle that he's ever reviewed. And I would challenge anybody to look at the 50 or so reviews on autofocus to see if you disagree objectively, right? The only one that would even come close would be the VinFast VF8 that he reviewed, I think it was just a few weeks ago. So clearly, this review does the Fisker Ocean and the Fisker brand more harm than good. Clearly, it's indicating that not all publicity is good. Now, with all that said, the subtitle on MKBHD Fisker Ocean 2.0 review asked the question, is it too little, too late? And my answer, and I feel like I can say this on behalf of all Fisker Ocean owners, is a resounding no. We are adrift and may drown in the ocean. So each OTA software update helps improve our ownership experience and unlocks more of the feature set we've already paid for. So hopefully you found this helpful. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share this video, and if you've got questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'll see you on the next video.